Thanks for coming in today. I know it's Makar Sankranti, right? There'll be some celebrations happening later on in your house. So we'll try to make it a really compactful and a knowledgeable session, and then try to spend most of the time later on sort of doing networking. But today we are here to learn about GenSpark, right? And what GenSpark can do for the future of work, for productivity, for building new use cases and workflows on top of what you're doing already right now, right? Um, we're starting now. We'll give a quick introduction of who I am, what I do, what the Generative Beings is doing, and then we'll jump into the meat of the session, which will be around the GenSpark journey, right? How they have grown into a $1.25 billion super AI agent. We're going to talk about what that journey looks like. We're going to see some of their capabilities and how you could utilize it. And we're going to show you some nice demos, interesting ones, where it'll give you an idea of what is possible. Now it's on you to then go back and try it out and experiment and see, how it does compared to the other tools. And later on, we're going to have a chat also with the co-founder. So there are a few questions that we had captured as part of, the forms that were getting filled up. So we synthesize them, summarize them, but we'll open it up for a live Q&A as well, right? So we'll try to make it more interactive. And anyone later on, if you want to share what you have built, so you said you're a GenSpark user, right? So it'll be fun to just hear from the group what you have been building, right? And if someone wants to come and demo it, we'll try and do that as well, right? All right. So I'm Shivang. Quick show of hands. How many of you are meeting me for the first time? Okay, perfect. I'm really excited to meet you all, right? And how many of you have heard the generative beings for the first time? Yes, that's good because we do not really exist here in this market, and our intent is to now grow the ecosystem and community here in Delhi NCR. So TGB is an AI ecosystem. It's been a community-led growth model that I've been building over the last 2 years, based out of Singapore, but we have now expanded in 5 different markets across Southeast Asia and India. We do a lot of community building events, thought leadership, panel discussions, hackathons, masterclasses, vibe coding sessions, everything to connect the people who want to solve a problem and then solutions that are able to solve that problem, right? So these are some of our partners. So we have a pair of like a layer of hyperscalers and hardware providers. We have got SaaS products, we've got GenSpark here, and then other ecosystem players as well. And a couple of these logos are basically part of the Singapore ecosystem, and we're trying to now expand this across India. We have a platform, so you'll see a QR code on the top right. If you have not created your profile, you can just scan and just it's a free profile to create, but it's a platform that I'm trying to build where it becomes a marketplace of learning and skill building using AI. This is sort of a representation of our member persona. So majority of them are AI founders. Uh, the other majority is tech leaders and decision makers. These can be CTOs, CXOs, data scientists, anyone who is right now either using AI or is trying to figure out how can I drive digital transformation in our existing business using AI capabilities. We are mostly headquartered, because of we are headquartered in Singapore, majority of our members are from there. But we have been expanding over the last 1 year. We've got around 15,000 members now from almost 40 countries on the platform. But my focus is still to run more of these community building events and then connect in person with people in Southeast Asia and India first, and then see how we can take it to scale. So these are some of the global brands, but this part here, these are all the logos which are very early stage AI startups, mostly from Singapore. You'll see Kisan AI here. So Chintan, who's a Kisan AI CTO, he's part of the community. There's some really interesting products here. Some of them are part of the Antler incubator, the accelerator program. Some of them have scaled up as well. And we have also, how many of you have heard of Manus AI? So yeah, cool, right? So GenSpark is sort of like, Manus AI times 10x, right? And they're based out of Singapore as well. So there's a lot of innovation that we see happening in the market. And I'm really excited to see what we can do in India together. So the platform, it's built for your mobile friendliness, right? So you can just scan the QR code, try it out. Every member who's created a profile, you can connect with them, not through the platform, but you can connect with them through LinkedIn and all. But it gives you an idea of who are interested in AI, who's an AI founder, who's an AI builder, and in which country they are. We have AI tools in projects. So this is sort of like a product hunt for Southeast Asia, where AI founders can list their product and then they get boosted into our entire ecosystem of 15,000 members. And then we work with each of them to see what their go-to-market challenges are. And it might be helping them connect with the customer. It might be helping them refine their proposition. It might be helping them train and upskill or even find talent. And all of these outcomes, we do it through a different format of events. We keep putting learning resources out there. So the latest news, not just of the globe, but also of Southeast Asia, what is happening, which is the new AI startup that's coming out, what are some of the capabilities that are launched by the builders in the AI ecosystem. All of it, we're trying to get into the space. So, and there's a Telegram community as well, right? So once you scan and once you get access to the platform, you can also join the Telegram community. There, we've got around 1,800 members now. And any question, any query that you have, if you're trying to showcase, you can introduce yourself, talk about it, and then you can start to see how the community helps each other. So let's skip this. As part of a service, what we have been really doing is a lot of community events, right? So we've done over 150 plus events. I've hosted all of them. And some of the really interesting ones are we actually hosted the CPO of Manus AI back in Singapore. We even hosted the CEO of Grok, GROQ, for a round table back in Singapore. We have been doing a lot of these hackathons and masterclasses and vibe coding sessions over the last 1 year. And that's what we're thinking is the future, where you're not there to talk to people, like listen to panel discussions and a lot of fluff that goes around something which is generic, but actually get your hands on to learn a new tool. It could be just a one-way conversation to understand how to use the tool, or it could be a proper hands-on workshop where you bring in your laptops and then we teach you and train you how to, basically build something on it. The other piece that we've been doing is to collaborate with bigger conferences. So Singapore FinTech Festival is one of the biggest conferences out there in Singapore. We actually had a booth there, and then we gave that booth to 6 AI startup founders from our community. That ways, they gave only a fraction of the cost to get exposure to 70,000 plus, audience that came in that conference. And we're trying to do this now along with Super AI and other global conferences as well. So these are all the ways where we feel that we can help accelerate the go-to-market for the founders and builders and do it all through a community-led growth model. So one last time, anyone who is a new GenSpark user, scan this QR code and you'll get 1,000 credits to try out. And if not, I'll just check online if Breno is there, right? So now we'll start with the introduction of the GenSpark slides. Just give me 1 minute because he's part of another event. So I need to see if he's joining or not. Check participants. Okay. Anyways, I'll not delay. Let me just go through. All right. So this is GenSpark. Imagine using multiple SaaS tools for your day-to-day work and paying multiple subscription fees for all of them, right? One for creating your slides, one for creating images, one for creating decks, one for doing data analytics, n number of things, right? Now imagine all of them are merged into one single platform, and the only thing that you need to run that is simple English. Right? So that's what GenSpark's trying to build. They're building the future of enterprise work. So literally anything and everything that can happen in company, in an organization, can be powered through their platform. Okay. Oh, this won't work on this. Yeah, just click it. All right. So again, when it comes to productivity, it's always measured in terms of hours, right? So imagine 2.5 hours, right? 10 hours you're working. Out of that, 25% of your time is spent in shifting your tools, trying to shift your context, trying to figure out, what do we do with what, copy paste, all of that thing. If all of that time was given back to you, right, the productivity goes up. There's just nothing else around it, right? No rocket science. But In order to do that, you need the right platforms, you need the right, scalable solution. So GenSpark is able to provide that to you. It has impact both on you as an employee, as a worker, because you are able to deliver better results in short period of time. And as an organization, as an employer, they see higher productivity per employee, right? And they're able to get better revenue outcomes, better business outcomes. So the company was founded 3 years back, 2 years, now 3 years, right, in Palo Alto. Their journey has been really amazing, right? So early stage, so one, their founders are not the kind where you just come up and try to build an idea and then run it. They're all coming from big tech companies, from Microsoft, from Meta, from Google, Stripe, Baidu, Pinterest, all of the big tech companies, big hyperscalers, they've worked in that. One of the co-founders has launched the Bing platform on Microsoft. So they know what they're doing, right? And they realize that there is a big challenge and they need a platform where we can plug in all of our problem statements, all of the outcomes, and then there should be something which is doing the grunt work and giving you an outcome ready, result. They were able to go from 0 to 50 million ARR in just 5 months. They just raised $275 million Series B in November, and now they're a unicorn. So it's one of the fastest growing SaaS startups. Obviously, there are a lot of other startups which say, we're the fastest and all, but their journey, I've seen it for the last 1.5 years. It's truly been amazing. So what's the GenSpark way? It is basically going completely autonomous, right? So true autonomous execution, again, comes down to sort of agentic flows. But what they say is that one, the productivity loss happens because you have to explain things multiple times. Here, they're saying you state your intent once. You tell the system that, hey, this is what I want. And if that's very clear, you don't have to repeat it. That means you become 10x faster. Second, you don't have to do all of that orchestration yourself, right? If you're trying to build something on N8N, great. It's a great tool to learn and try and build and do things. But as a knowledge worker, as a person who doesn't have time to try and build out something, you need to do, uh, you need to give an input and you need results. This means there has to be something running continuously to do that work for you. So the agents here, they handle everything. They say zero prompt engineering required. What this means is that in the early days of ChatGPT, when everyone's like, hey, these are the 5,000 prompts you should use for your day-to-day productivity, that was basic a structure, right? That structure comes down to simple English. How easy can you explain what your problem is, what is the output you need, and what is the process you expect the person to do. And it's plain English results that you put into ChatGPT or other LLMs, and then they try to do those outcomes. What they have done is that even that intent is reduced. You don't have to do that prompt engineering because they already understand that what should be the internal prompt that should be created based on what your query is. So you say, hey, this is my photo, put it in and create really interesting sort of a promotion content for Instagram and LinkedIn, inviting people to our Noida event. And then it will do all of that step by step, right? 2 years back, you would have to literally take out one output, take that, and then give it to another prompt engineering input, and then continue to do it. Now you get the final output. And I'll actually show you something I built. It's quite crazy. And then boardroom ready output. Same thing, right? The repetitiveness in a task. If you create a creative brief, then you give it to someone, and then there are multiple iterations, and then you refine it, then you get feedback from multiple people, and then finally, after 2 or 3 weeks of work, you then have a presentation and a deck that you present to everyone. Here, if you've tried slides, right? So you know how amazing the output is. But it's a good starting point, right? It's like your 80 to 90% of the work's almost automated. So the final quality that you get is very close to what is expected. So here it's 100% focuses on quality. Now, what they do is in the backend, and again, I can't talk really a lot about the backend, but what they have is a mixture of agents, right? So that's the proprietary tech what they have built. What it means is that they have multiple models, right? So they will have Google's models, they'll have different LLM models in the backend, and mixture of agents is identifying that for each task, which is the right model to use. And because they have been building that, the system defines automatically, you know, what should be used and for which purpose. So that's another something that we don't have to really care about. they've got 35 frontier models, right? And all the latest model that come will continue to go in. So same thing, if you're using ChatGPT, you only have access to their models. When you start to use the other platforms, you have access to a much bigger variety of models. And when you try the platform, you will see that if it's trying to do a task and the task fails through a single model and it identifies that, oh, this model can't do something, it jumps to another model and tries that same task again till the time it doesn't identify that, yes, this is a good output and now I can deliver it to you. Sorry, okay, okay. Can you say? So it's not just that they've got these agents, they have access to, so they're basically integrated into a lot of MCP servers as well, right? So same thing for developers and builders, this becomes exciting because then you don't really have to do a lot of integrations, try to do something and build onto other platform. All of that function calling and tool calling sort of comes inside and you don't have to build it, right? The GenSpark agent will do it for you. You just need to connect it. You just need to know what it needs to do, and it's secure, right? So the ISO certification, it is an enterprise grade ready platform, and it's got all of this wrapped up, which is so easy to use that you'll feel like you're on a very simple chat interface. So from intent to outcome, same thing, right? We want a result. We want something which is high quality. And to get there, there are all of these steps. So first is the intent capture. What is it that the user is trying to do, right? So the model will assess that. You don't have to tell all of it. It will try and identify it itself. Then plan, right? So how does the orchestration happens that, okay, what should be done when? This is where the large action models or sort of like what the steps in an agentic flow looks like, they have built that structure. The agent will automatically understand the steps it needs to follow, so you don't need to give it to it, right? Orchestrate, again, it'll figure out that, okay, can I stitch together different tools? How do I do it? One input from one tool goes as, sorry, one output from the first step of a tool goes as an input to the second step of another tool. It does all of it itself. It also reviews and verifies, right? So it's not going to give you a dumb output and then you review it and say, okay, something needs to change. It'll do that internal review by itself. And then once it delivers, and then obviously on top of it, it can iterate. So it's a really good starting point to get from 0 to almost 90, 95 in one shot. And after that, you see where it is, and then you can obviously tweak from there. So it started off with slides and deep research, but it's expanded. And every week they're launching something new, right? So they said there's going to be like a huge product launch that's going to happen as well. But for folks, if you're not able to see, there's an AI workspace. This is basically what unifies everything that you're doing on the GenSpark platform. AI slides, that's been the biggest use case, but there's a lot more that you can do. So like there are AI docs, AI sheets is something which is new. So you can plug in your data and you can run analytics on top of it, right? Something that is right now quite hard to do because you don't have access to a database or there aren't enough smart connectors or plugins that can sit on top of your Google Sheet or Excel file to actually give you that visualization. They're amazing in that digital representation and graphs as well. AI developer is sort of, again, look at it like a vibe coding platform, right? You can literally build your entire application using their platform, right? And then see how to tweak it, how to deploy it, and what else you can do with it. The AI designer, say marketing assets, images, videos. I've been trying out something. It's pretty cool. So if you want to create your video, right, an avatar, you would go to Runway, you'll go to Kling, you'll use Synthesia, you'll use multiple tools, and then you'll orchestrate a step flow. Right here, you just dump everything, give it a text content that this is what I need, and the output is pretty close to what you could achieve, right? AI chat, again, this is sort of like a RAG ecosystem. So they have built sort of like a Drive ecosystem where you can dump all of your files in. So you don't now need to build an RAG layer, embedding layer, or orchestration layer. Everything is available and it's made searchable by the AI chat that's there. So AI image and AI videos, again, you can create interesting images and videos. And AI phone is the last one. And this is what I was trying actually. You can literally deploy an AI agent and let it do a call on your behalf. So I'll show you what that demo looks like later on. These are some of the new next generation workflows that they're building on. Again, meeting notes, obviously it's been there for a while, but now it's integrated into the ecosystem, right? So imagine if you give it access to your calendar, right, to your Gmail and to two or three other tools, right? It can sit inside your meeting, it can take those notes, summarize it, create, a PowerPoint presentation, even send it to your, people who attended it along with the next steps and all. That orchestration, you just visualize it, try to put it in and try it out, it'll work. And AI pods is again like sort of like you can create your podcast. So again, part of the content or the marketing assets for people who are thinking about, hey, I want to do podcasts, I want to create videos, I want to put content and text on all of my social platforms. Now I'm using 15 different other tools. You could figure out a smart way to plug everything into this and then get all of that multi-channel output. And the agent builder, again, if whatever you're trying to find, if it's not available, they have the ability for you to build your own custom agent, give it a persona, give it a task, give it things that it needs to do, and then try it out. So not just that, it has deep enterprise integrations, right? So not just few tools. It goes into Slack, Microsoft and Google Workspace, Asana, OneDrive, Dropbox, Box, HubSpot, Salesforce. So all of those big global enterprise level tools that most likely right now one of you would be using at least one of these tools, right? So it's really hard to get out of that ecosystem. So rather than building something new, they're integrated into it all. So whatever you're trying to do can be seamlessly plugged into your Salesforce, or it could go into your Slack, and you can create more. Basically, you don't need to move out or change your workflow the way your company works. You can just plug this in. Yeah. Uh, I'll need to check with them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if there is an MCP for Canva, they would be able to. If not, you can raise it as a request. I'll wait for those guys to either actually come in and talk about that. Okay, next one. Speed and security, three non-negotiable policies. Perfect. So this is one of the biggest challenges, right? I'm using a platform, I'm using an LLM, my data, my context, it's being used to train a model, right? Here, they're saying that there is no training, right? So there's zero data training policy, which means that your content, your data that you're putting into the system is not getting exposed elsewhere, right? This is one of the trust building aspects of any new LLMs, right, that you would want to use. Enterprise isolation, again, having a very dedicated encrypted architecture so that the enterprise data sits where it is and it is not exposed elsewhere. And zero data retention. Whatever you're doing, that content will be probably remotely stored during the process, but after that it's done, right? So there's no data storage, there's no data retention. All of it builds the trust and confidence that you can use this even for your enterprise solutions. And this is why GenSpark is a category leader. There are multiple platforms that you're using on a day-to-day basis, but this is one of the platforms which has most of those agentic workflows available, on the go without doing any orchestration. So again, rather than just assistance and suggestions, you get final deliverables. You have mixture of agents rather than one single model. Um, End-to-end autonomy, same. You don't need to worry about, okay, what should I do? When should I tell an agent at what step to change? You give it an intent, give it an outcome, it will do it all by itself. The final output is not like a rough draft, it's a boardroom ready output. And all of it comes together in one single workspace. Right. So that was it. Breno was supposed to give that. I'm just giving it a shot. Let me check, right, if Breno is online and if he's able to join. If not, then we'll go ahead and then we'll show you a couple of things that I've been trying to build, right? If you feel like, you want to share as well, we can do that. So just give me 1 minute. Okay. while he joins in, let me just go through the platform, right, and show you how it looks like. Eh, folks at the back, can you see this, or do I need to extend it? It's visible, right? Okay. Uh, how can I hide the side one? Just need the screen on the whole. Okay. Layout. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. It was there. Thank you. Right. So it's a very simple interface, right? This is, I feel, the UI of 21st century. Everyone's got this chat, right? And I think it's mostly inspired from Google. That's what I feel. Uh, but this is where you can come and ask anything, right? You can do a lot of these tools that you can connect. I've tried to connect a lot of it and then see, what all I can do. But this entire suite, it's never ending, right? So everything that you're doing, you can come and connect it with this MCP servers, whichever are there. You can even find the MCPs that are being built by the community members and then get access to that as well. You can even build your own custom MCP, by the way, and try to connect that. And these are some of the agents that are built there. So let me maybe take an example. So by the way, this deck, Breno's deck, has been created using his prompt on GenSpark. What I wanted to show you was something interesting that I tried. Okay. So this is a voice agent, right? Now imagine first thinking about if you were to create your own AI agent that does the calling on your behalf, right? You need a voice model, you give it. You need a context, you have to give it. You need to give a set of files and sort of like a data archive on top of which it can do, response and do a conversation. Then you need a service that can give you a number through which you can, do the calling. Then you need a database where you can record all of it, stitch it, put it there, and then you need sort of like a data orchestration layer to put it into a structured data format. All of these things, you would be like, I need a solid software developer, so I need to think about, how much money to spend there. Here, what I did, I just gave it a very simple prompt. I said that you're a KPMG advisory hiring manager. You're looking for a 5-year experienced person with, again, for people who can't read, I'm looking for an Indian candidate in Mumbai with engineering and MBA degree, more than 5 years experience in consultancy and research. See if they have done a project for any healthcare or consumer company. Call the candidate for an introductory interview and select them for the next round only if they fit the above criteria. Please be professional. Right? It did ask me that, okay, great, I'll do this something, but what's the time zone, default country code? Few things it did, and I just gave it, I did not respond to all of it. I just gave it something very simple and said, just go again and figure it out. So it created this dialer for me. Right? Now I'm just going to put my number on this and let's see what it does. So I've got a call, right? Uh, yeah, hi, Shivang this side.
Great, Shivang. I'm calling regarding a consultancy position with our team in Mumbai. Do you have about 5 to 10 minutes for a brief screening interview?
Sure, can we try and do it in 2 minutes, please?
Absolutely. I'll keep it as efficient as possible. Let's jump right in. Could you tell me a bit about your educational background?
Sure. So I've done engineering and MBA from top tier institutes in India.
Thank you. How many years of experience do you have in consultancy and research?
Almost around 10 to 12 years, including a couple of projects here and there.
Understood. Can you share an example of a project you worked on? Have you done any work with healthcare or consumer companies?
Yeah, so I did a go-to-market study for P&G's detergent brand to help them assess how to sell in the HoReCa segment in India. So that's a very solid consumer project that I did.
That sounds like a solid consumer focused project. Thank you for sharing that. Based on what you've told me, your engineering and MBA degrees, over 10 years of experience, and your consumer project example, you meet all the criteria. I'd like to invite you to the next round of interviews. Someone from our team will reach out to you soon with the details. Do you have any questions for me at this time?
Uh, can you share what the project's about?
Certainly. The role involves working on strategic advisory projects for clients in various industries, including healthcare, consumer, and other sectors. It may involve market entry strategies, growth initiatives, operational improvements. The next round will dive deeper into the specific role and the kinds of projects you'd be handling.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Anything else?
You're all set for now. Thank you for your time today. I'm going to hang up now.
All right, thank you. So everyone who's trying to hire in hundreds and thousands, right? People who are in the sales or the marketing roles, who are trying to do customer research, consumer research, trying to figure out, okay, I need to call 500, customers and then figure out what my CRM, and that funnel should be. Uh, you're limited by time, right? By context. And I just gave it like 5 lines and I was able to have some conversation. If I gave it more information, if I gave it a few PRDs, I gave it 15 different sort of brands that KPMG would have worked with. What it did, it is also using the web to do its all deeper analysis and creating a context. I tried to take it, off the road as well to say, hey, let's talk about this. Or it was saying, okay, great, I want to set up an interview tomorrow. I said, sorry, I'm traveling tomorrow, can you please set it up for next day? I was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll do this. And it has that sort of a sense and it feels like you're talking to a real person. And this was done in like 1 minute, right? But it's a simple text. So that's one of the examples. Obviously, if you think about it, you could build literally an entire call center experience on the platform, or you can just simply put like a small side project as well. So this was one. I felt this was interesting and exciting to show. That's why. And I'll also show you something I was trying out. So when I said that, anyone who's created content using AI tools for socials? Okay. And do anyone, if you want to share, what is the challenge, or what is the blocker for you guys? What are you looking to solve? Okay. Hmm.
So I was trying to layer a product over it. It was in a child's category, right?
Okay.
In the children category. When you try to actually layer a product over and above, right? That is where it fails multiple times,
Yeah.
right? So that is one of the challenges that I faced. Then I had to like go back to a designer and get some AI in place and a designer in place and get
Yeah.
that thing sorted. But those are the challenges that I figured out. Yeah.
Fair enough, right? So if you're creating content videos, you need a designer, right?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a designer, so he'll be like, yeah, of course you need me, right? I'm there. Any of you, yeah, what is your biggest challenge in? Okay. Okay.
Infographics using Notebook LM.
Okay.
And there the traction, the graphs were very, uh, it was it was very clear that is it's made by AI, no
Mm-hmm.
human touch, nothing. And
Right.
and every new time whenever I was giving the prompt, it was something missing, something, lacking behind what I was really wanted to get.
Sure.
So that was the lacking point over there.
Yeah, and there's no, like, I mean, there would be, but same when you come to infographics, right? You need data, you need qualitative and quantitative, you need creative visualization angles. It can't just be bar charts all the time, right? Fair enough. So right now you'll see there's a lot of content that's going out online, and one, if you're a brand, if you're an individual, how much time and effort and money can you spend in finding the right products, the right environment, the right, systems and tools? What I tried to do was I said that, okay, let me just test. Can I create a video of mine which is promoting these upcoming events, right, in India? Now, if you have used Runway or Kling or Synthesia, Hagen and all of these tools for either voice cloning, for sort of visual reconstruction and creating a digital avatar, you would know how much data goes behind training the model first before you can plug it in, right? Uh, So okay, not this one. But I said, let me just hack it out, right? Let me just see, because there was nothing I could find that could I actually do this on GenSpark or not. So I was like, fair enough. Let me just go ahead and try it. I just want to find out where that right one is. Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, so this was one. I was basically saying that, hey, create like a, like a nice voice for the script. So I gave it a script. It tried out a few things. It failed, right? So it tried 11 labs. It failed. Then it tried something else. It failed. Then with Gemini, it gave me some output. I said, okay, great, it's fine. I thought that I'll do this, right? I'll first create a voice sample, then I'll create a, a video avatar, and then I'll stitch it together and do it. So first I was trying out that because my head was working. This is how the, systems work. Um, I can't find that. Then I thought that why not just dump all of it into one single place. Okay, this one is different. Anyways, let me find out if I have the video. That'll be the fastest. So for people who don't know me, right, they'll be like, yeah, sure, this is Shivang. I think we saw him, something like that, right? So I gave it a, I, I gave it just one image of mine, right? And I gave it a script and I said, just create it. Uh, First, it created something really weird, right? It stretched out. I said, okay, put the logos and all. But if I had to do it myself, I would literally be using something and creating something like this, right? And this was like one photo of mine, and then it sort of did this reconstruction. So I figured out that, okay, maybe something needs to change, right? So then I did some tweaks, very simple tweaks, and then it created this slimmer version of me, right?
Join us. Learn to build AI agents and network with 100 plus AI leaders. Tens and
Yeah, it's okay.
comments.
So it's not synced at all, right? It's just like weird head nodding guy. Something is happening. But even to get there, right, I would have to figure out how to stitch together different tools. Sorry? Yeah, exactly, right? So what I did then, I was like, okay, fine. I created a 30-second sample of mine. This was not being shared, is it? Okay.
Join us for AI events with GenSpark AI.
So yeah, so then I did this and I was like, hey, no, 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 there's something tweaked. So just that same prompt, I tweaked it again and then it created uh,
Hey, Happy New Year! Join us for AI events across India next week with GenSpark AI. Learn to build AI agents and network with 100 plus AI leaders. 10 Jan Bengaluru, 13.
again, voice needs work, right? It needs fine tuning. Face needs fine tuning. The stitching of the lip sync needs fine tuning. But this was just three different inputs in one single prompt. And then just telling it, "Oh, no, 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 this is a bit weird. It was showing me in a formal. I'm like, no, 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 I need to be in a black t shirt. Just make it like this. Hey, I'm not that slim. Make it like that. So there was just tiny tweaks, right? And then it came out to this, right? People who know me, they'll be like, oh no, yeah, this is like really a digital avatar. But I would love to basically just now dump my future content, right? Keep refining it. I can create now 15 different photos from different angles and give it to train it so that my motion is captured. I can create different voice samples and upload it. But now I don't need multiple tools to do it, right? I can just dump all of it in one single chat and get a good virtual avatar of me, save it, maybe even create it as an AI agent, and then say the next time I want to create content for my social, I'll just give it input, I'll give it the script, I'll give it these are the versions, these are the 5 things, and it'll just do the work for me. Right. So this is where I feel again these are more creative use cases. Um, but when it comes to deep research, it is super powerful as well. So I wanted Breno to actually show his um, AI analyst, right? So he created this analyst, and then this has a super powerful output, right? It creates literally like a proper brief, like a proper report document, and then you can go in and you can tweak certain sections of it as well. right? And anyone who has created a report, anyone who's done competitive analysis, or anyone in the financial analysis, role, uh, there are a lot of these repeat use cases. Anyone in consulting here? Okay. So again, slides are there, but there are also these reports, right? 30, 40, 100-page reports that you need to create. And all of it needs to be, a lot of deep research needs to go into it. Now, if you were to do that, you would have a team of 5 people and tell them that, hey, for the next 1 month, no holidays, no overtime, just come and continue, working all day long. And then we do this review. Now that entire information, all the links, all the proprietary data, content, recordings from your primary research and all can just be plugged into one single place. And then the output also could also be structured. You can even train the model to say, this is the kind of structure I want. These should be the sections. This is my brand guidelines. And then see what the output is. And that output is literally going to shorten 100 and 200 hours of work into a couple of hours. And from there, you can spend the rest of the time with your team actually refining it further. So that's a few things that I felt were like really interesting. Um, any thoughts, any questions before we move ahead? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel like, yeah, ChatGPT is already doing something like this, or no, there's some other tool that's better? I'm doing it like this. I would love to hear from you guys, right? Hmm. Yeah. Yes. So it's on a credit basis, right? So you get, I think, like the starting model maybe like 25 or something dollars, and then you get like 10,000 credits on it, and then that can be utilized. So all of the models now have figured out that a subscription model is there, but it is always tied to the usage, because the core value is usage. If you are creating, let's say, a summary based on your LinkedIn profile, it might use maybe 200 tokens. If you say that create an entire, 15 minutes video, highlighting everything that's there on the LinkedIn profile, and then create an audio podcast of it, it might take up a couple of hundred or maybe 1,000 plus credits. So all that, it's also because there are different models being used, right? And I think the what Breno had shared in the previous event, because there was a question that how does the model understand which how does the platform understand which model to use for which task, right? And then how does it ensure that the tokens that are being used for each task are reduced so they're optimized, right? That becomes one of the biggest challenges. So it does it by itself, because their intent is not that you use up the credits. Their intent is that how can we be more efficient. So if you're able to do more number of tasks per month, I think that's a more win than saying, hey, have you utilized the entire uh, token system? But you can always, I think, upgrade. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what they had, like they've covered in it. They don't use the data for training, right? So it doesn't sit outside anywhere, right? And it's an enterprise grade security layer that they have built. So in the enterprise version that they have, I'm sure that they have these capabilities of even letting you deploy and control your data wherever it sits. Because once you're going after the enterprise segment, you have to build that layer. But even right now, let's say for anyone who's not in an enterprise, right? Even if the data security is not an issue with you, you still don't want that information to go out, right? So they're ensuring that data is not stored with them, that data is not being used to train their models, right? So in that sense, you're protected. But I think the kind of level of security that banks and financial and regulatory bodies would need, that would be available in the enterprise grade. Um, any other question? I'm just taking the questions on Breno's behalf. So yeah. Yeah. You can generate. What do you want to generate? Let's try it on AI image. What do you want to generate? Anything. So Nano Banana Pro is already there. So yeah. Okay. 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 And do you want some sort of a scene? What do you want in the wedding? What do you want to see in the image?
The scene is like cake cutting.
Okay.
All are celebrating cake cutting.
Okay. Okay. So, show them. Oh, sorry. Wait, it's not supposed to go there. So, I defaulted to Nano Banana Pro, right? But you can see, so you have the Seed Dream as well. You've got Flux, you've got a lot of, you've got Quen and all. So sometimes it might happen that, let's say, in a particular image model, especially like with Google and all, right, there might be more restrictions based on their policies. So when it fails, it will automatically, shift to another. Anyone know them? Do you have like any
Actually,
example?
I have a stack of five M5 like
Okay.
Mac Minis,
Yeah.
and I would like to host my models there,
Hmm.
and I'd like to replace it with the APIs or that is there.
Yeah.
You have it here.
Uh, so I keep that question for Justin, right? He's going to be coming in. But I'm again, so one, they have this on-device free AI. So this is similar to like, downloading like an Olama, right? And then again, downloading the models which are there into your memory. If they don't allow that same thing, you can use probably an agent builder to give it access to your MCP. So you can create sort of an MCP through Docket, give it access to your, that's how I'm assuming, right? You'll do it, right? To your models. And then this becomes the front end, and probably through Docket integration, you would be able to use it.
Because I can only use it on one laptop at the same
You
time.
shouldn't share your password.
Like siblings, you can, right? So,
Yeah.
but there's been an issue that it only takes one desktop, like one platform, one desktop. So you can't multiply use it.
Yeah, so if you're logging in from another device, it'll log you out
Yeah.
here, right? So
You
that's
can
that's
the other one cannot come in. Like you have to choose between the devices.
really
Yeah, it has happened.
interesting. I'll try that because I've been trying it on different devices. So even on my phone, on my laptop, on a different device.
Login ID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's tied to your Google ID. It's not. It might have some maybe like basic prevention mechanism, right? Let's say.
Log out from one device and then only I can use it from the other one. It's that way.
Mm, I tried on different browsers, so that was not an issue. It just logged me in. And if you're using different browsers as well, I think you can use different Gmail accounts for different browsers
Maybe
as
some
long
of
as
the integrations like that. That could be an
I don't know again. So they have a Discord channel, right? Any queries that all you might have, which are more these technical,
Yeah.
you can just plug them there, right? It should work. I mean, my assumption it should work.
I've tried now. They have bought their new this thing because
Okay.
it's kind of expensive also. Monthly is very expensive, and the credits just go. I have these questions for Jason.
Yeah. So, okay, this is where the hack is, right? So, if once you are a pro user, you can actually invite other people, and they also get credits. So you can sort of get up to 5,000 credits. Obviously, it doesn't.
50,000.
Yeah, up to. Yeah, so like you can invite multiple people, I think 50 max, and then 1,000 credits for them. Um, so you should continue to do that. But same point, again, it comes down to like where your cost is going. You're anyways going to be spending on different platforms. And if you feel that, okay, how can I, like pull all of my workflows into one single platform, what would that look like? And that means that there'll be other competitor platforms that you start competing with. Okay, I'm waiting for Justin. Let's see if he's there and we can have a
Hi,
small.
actually, I'm here.
Hey!
Hello, everyone. Glad to see you guys.
Okay, wait. We can't see you. So just in 1 second, let me just.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, wait. Do I need to pin this here? Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hey, hi Justin. Sorry, just one.
Hey.
And you want to see people as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so we've got a camera all recording set up here. Um, can we just show Justin once, everyone who's here?
Yeah, maybe just turn it around and want to say hi to everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm super excited to see. I hope every one of you are JSpark users today. And I'm really glad to be here and to be connecting with you guys and answer any questions you have. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. So Justin is one of the co-founders of GenSpark, right? And he's a technical co-founder as well. So some of the questions, technical ones, Justin, I was like, let's hold on. We pass it to Justin. But before we begin, so I know you have 20 minutes, right? I'll try to keep the questions and responses brief,
Mhm.
right? The ones
Yeah,
we covered, and then probably if there are any questions from the crowd, we can take that, right? So let me know
yeah,
when.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
first,
yeah, sounds good.
first things first, would love for you to share with the crowd what was the inspiration behind starting GenSpark and how has that journey been up to where it is now?
Yeah, we actually started GenSpark exactly 2 years ago. And by the time I think AI was just becoming a thing, right? Like GPT 3.5 was released for a few months, and everybody was super excited about Gen AI in general. And everyone wanted to build some useful product for the world. It's going to change the world, we're sure, but we were not sure like what form and what's the exact timing. So we started with AI augmented search, something like Perplexity, but we actually have a much higher standard and set higher like production picture. Like not only collect information, but we also want to save the information to some like knowledge base so that everyone else can find the answers from others useful. And that's the thing. So this way we got to millions of users pretty quickly. But then one day, like we were like asking ourselves a simple question: why do people search for information? And we quickly realized people don't just want information, they want to get work done. For example, they want presentation built, they want analysis finished, they want the report ready to present. So everyone like use ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is a good chatbot. You can use ChatGPT to brainstorm, but you still need to copy paste. You still need to copy the storyline, the content into some other like apps and to generate the final result. We want to do the whole thing end to end for you. So that's the new vision. So in April last year, we launched our Super Agent suite. And with Super Agent, I hope everyone has experienced it. It's not just giving answers, but deliver finished work. This way, we hit $50 million in revenue in just 5 months. And we just announced that last week we hit $100 million revenue. Like that's in like 9 months, completely organic, pure word of mouth. So this is like vision evolved from better AI search to democratizing AI for billions of knowledge workers. And I'm super excited to be part of this journey and connecting with real users in India because you are leading this revolution. Indian knowledge workers are adopting AI at the highest rate globally. You understand this vision because you are already using AI every day. I hope that answered the question. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Um, so yeah, so now that it's happening, right now you guys are a $1 billion unicorn, right? You just raised $275 million. Um, what's the 2026-27 roadmap looking like? What are the industry insights from your competitor analysis that you are using to create a more differentiated product proposition? So knowing what's coming would be a bit exciting, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. On the technology side, right? So we see like several trends. First, the multimodal features here, right? Like people are talking about image generation, video generation. No single AI model will run or like rule everything, right? So Gemini model is best at multimodality, and Anthropic is good at like code writing and tool using, and OpenAI model is good at reasoning. So our work is to like further orchestrating many specialized models this way. We want users can enjoy, like all the best frontier models with only $25 monthly subscription fee. And also the costs on the modeling side are dropping dramatically. So AI is trending towards electricity prices. So today we can process a trillion tokens a month economically. So this changes the entire cost structure of knowledge work. So we want to further expand our integration with various different tools. And on the adoption side, we see the trend that there's a massive shift from tools to outcome, right? People want finished work, not help using tools. And also, like on the enterprise side, we see like massive inbound requests from Fortune 500 companies. They are moving faster than we expected. Employees, because their employees are using AI at home, and then they demand it at work. So IT department and their senior leadership cannot stop it, only enable it. And this way, like AI native teams are winning. Like 20 people using AI can basically like outperform like large company with thousands of employees. So we're embracing this like enterprise and small mid-sized business like this year. So basically like we're going to further integrate it with frontier models and provide like end-to-end like outcome experience and like more support small business and enterprise usage.
So on the enterprise side, there was a question of the data privacy, right? And
Mhm.
how the data is being stored and used. And is there like is there a capability right now where the enterprises can still own their data in their own environments and then still use GenSpark for their entire organization?
Yeah, we're building that absolutely. So we like as we mentioned, like we see massive like inbound requests. So we're actually building like when we launched the to consumer grade product, we already provided option. You can opt out your like data from like training. We promise not using your data to train a better model. And we sign a contract with all the frontier model providers like OpenAI and Anthropic with like zero retention policy, right? That's a bare minimum. But we are actually building much more than that, right? So we just passed, I think we just passed like SOC 2 certificate, and we're like working on some ISO like certificate so that enterprise owners can can feel comfortable like moving their sensitive data to our infrastructure. And we're even like working on right now, it's not released on like per region, per country deployment, right? For example, like certain country like Japan or like Europe, they have their like policy, they don't want their data to flow across the country boundary. So we can deploy our infrastructure to their like regional data center. And with that, maybe like for large customers and big enterprise, we can even do on-premium deployment. So that's all on the table. If you have like massive demand, you're serious about AI, you're like, you love GenSpark, we can do whatever customization for you.
Got it. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So on the topic of right like enterprise adoption, again, there's been a lot of play around AI being used to build POCs across enterprises, but still the AI and the workflow breaks, right? So can
Mhm.
you share a bit about where exactly in the enterprise workflows the AI breaks right now, and then how is GenSpark platform trying to solve that?
I think like AI breaks mainly on several reasons, right? First, they break down when it lacks context. It's like a genius in a dark room. It doesn't know your company culture, your like the small details from last week's meeting, and they cannot do the smart things for you, right? And another problem, as you just mentioned, is like rigid workflows. If a system flows, a fixed script, one small error breaks the whole chain, right? And each single step maybe is a 99% accuracy or success rate. But if you combine 20 steps together, the end-to-end success rate is going to be very low. So that's why we build agents, right? That's why we build integration, various integration with enterprise tools. We have a like MCP integration, and we have like Office enterprise integration. We integrate with various different enterprise grade products, and then we build agents. Agents can see their own mistakes, adapt and fix the path in real time. So that's our approach to address this problem.
Cool. And I was just showing a couple of demos of what GenSpark can do. Uh, but
Mm.
how does it really work? Like, how's the architecture built so that the agents or the system understands
Mm.
that this is the workflow, or this is the task I need to complete. These are the set of tools or agents I need to build, and these are the models that I need to choose for a particular task. How does that all happen?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain everything in a single, like a few sentence, but at very high level. So there are several like major components, right? The key insights is AI models are like brains. They are very intelligent, but they cannot touch the real world, right? So we build the legs and the arms and legs for the models. And we built over 150 specialized tools that work like Lego blocks. They process documents, search web, write Python code, create charts, build presentations, connect to databases. Right? These tools chain together seamlessly. One tool's outcome becomes another tool's input. It's like Linux pipe. This way, they create exponential possibilities. Right. Well, also we like pay for access to premium database, right? Like PageBook, Crunchbase, SEC filing to ensure professional quality data. And also, like very important component is continuous learning. We build a system that use a large language model as a judge to grade the quality of user session, and the system can learn from the real work scenarios. Right, teach our AI which model to use when, which tool to combine, and how to deliver boardroom ready results. And hundreds of thousands of examples data, the system can get smarter automatically, right? That's why our output don't need editing, right? They are ready to present immediately. So yeah, I hope that from very high level that answer your question.
Yeah, no, I understand definitely, right? It's a huge response to explain all of that, but because there was a question of right, like how is it happening in the back end? Um, there are now so many LLMs, right? And everyone's like creating sort of like an all-in-one inclusive workspace scenario. How in that competitive space is GenSpark trying to create a different proposition, right? So like what's your level? Where do you think that, why you guys are playing in that field, and why do you feel that's the right approach and, the way forward for LLMs?
Yeah, so we honestly we don't worry too much about competitors. I know there are like a lot of big players in this space, right? Like frontier model, like OpenAI and Anthropic, but they focus on building the very best AGI model, right? There are also some like a product like players like Microsoft, even like big companies, traditional company like Microsoft, they're working on their agents, right? And they're like small startup like Manus. So there are players in this space, but that's basically a proof or a way. Actually, it shows like people are actually very excited about the future of this. It's a trading. It's like I think there's enough space for like a lot of companies to like grow and to figure out what's the right way to do to deliver like real value using the model in this space. It's not a zero sum competition yet. And for us, our differentiator is I would say like coming from different things, right? First on technology side, as I mentioned, we use multimodal orchestration. We like use over 30 AI models uh, to work together. So if you're working at a Google or you're working at OpenAI, you're probably using your own in-house model. But then you lose access to other very best models to do other work, right? That's a one differentiate. And also on the execution side, we are a very small startup. We ship every week, right? If you using GenSpark, you probably know we launch maybe like 1 or 2 week, we launch a like major agent or product or major like improvement of the existing agents. And 80% of our code is written by AI with less than 50 people. We move faster than other teams. We move faster, we form the feedback loop tighter, and we can learn from like real user feedback. Like that's why I want to chat with all the real users like you guys. We learn from all this feedback and we can continuously improve. So speed is our only mode, right? So honestly,
Cool. On that, let's open up for some feedback and questions, right? So let
yeah.
connect any questions that you have for Justin. We can start off. Uh, okay, can we pass on the mic? Thank you.
Hi, Justin. I
Hey.
wanted to know if the slides can be, in collaboration with the Canva. Can you link it with Canva? Because the designs are really good. I've made a lot of slides from Genspark,
Uh,
but in terms of some elements of color and everything, I'm also using Canva. So would
okay.
that be a possibility, or is it something that you have thought about?
I heard, I personally are not working on the slides product. But I heard someone talk about they still want to use traditional tool to do the one last mile editing, right? So want to export their presentation PPT to other professional tools to do the final touches. We understand that. We are building our own editing, but we don't want to tie everyone, to our platform if they truly need other tools. That's why we're continuously improving our export function. So you can export the presentation to various other formats while still keeping your format intact, right? So oftentimes it's a problem when you export to different formats. The fonts and the layout become like very messy and you cannot add anything on top of it, where we have been continuously working on that. I'm not 100% sure what particular format Canva take, right? So, yeah, if there are like some details or some problems you are facing today, like feel free to send us email or send me an email. I'll forward to the right team.
Sure. So only thing is that when we're making the slides, it's more on the so I'm a marketer myself. So
Mhm.
in terms of the color, in terms of how I have to give those prompts, I get those answers. But in terms
Yeah.
of the templates being very similar in terms of a consultant or
Mhm.
so that differentiation is not there, but amazing product. I mean, I'm a regular user of Genspark. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We're building on template feature. I'm not sure if it's like perfect now, but that's some feature we heard a lot of from community. We're building on that. And talking about the designer itself, like all the color and the layout of the artists, right? So we have a tool, we have a designer, AI designer tool itself. You can give it a try. Maybe it's not at the Canva level, but you can do the 2D design with that agent as well. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Any other questions? We had some technical questions, right? But he'll give you a better clarity. I was hypothesizing.
Hi, Justin.
Hey.
Just wanted to know, can we use other websites so that we can automate our process? I mean, for example, I have to fetch some data about some startups and all. Can I
Mhm.
fetch from traction using GenSpark so that I can automate the whole process, doing the repetitive task once I given a prompt to the GenSpark, and it does all the repetitive tasks whichever I do usually morning and in the evening all the time. So can I automate the process using attaching different websites which I regularly use? Can we do that?
Okay. Yeah, basically you want to do some customization workflow, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on how complicated the workflow is, right? If it's a relatively short, not like 20-step, 40-step workflow, rigid workflow, you probably can try customize agent. So you can give a prompt and you can build your own agent, and that agent can do the work for you. But that's basically a prompt-based approach, which means like agent can decide what's the right step to do, or it can skip some step on its own judgment, right? Which might be correct or might not be correct. So that depends. I'm not sure if you try that feature, right? If you try that feature, it might fulfill your need today. If not, um, we are working on a feature. It's not released yet, but hopefully soon that allow you to build more rigid workflow, right? That's something I can disclose now, but I don't have the time. Hopefully in very soon you can experience it.
So
Yeah.
there's like a similar question in the previous event that like integration with Webflow, right,
Mhm.
and other of these tools. But same thing again, if it's not readily available, same there is the
Mhm.
capability to connect with the MCPs, and the way the
Yeah.
world's going, everyone's going to create their own MCP server, right? It's just a matter of plugging it in and then trying to do those things yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for adding that, right? So it depends. There are like several ingredients to this question, right? First, you absolutely need access to the external websites or database or services you rely on. that you can do that already with the MCP integration. And we have been continuously improving that capability. That connectivity is one ingredient. And the second ingredient is execution engine. Execution engine, you can try super agent, right? Super agent, it's agentic. The problem of that is you have to prompt every time, right? So it's a very customized workflow, very flexible. But if you want to do repetitive work, it's a lot of repetitive prompts. That's why we build customized agents. You can ask an agent to summarize the session and create a custom agent to repeat the flow for you. But again, that's just to summarize it into another big prompt or context. The agent can choose to follow or not to follow. That's why we want to build a next version or like a different kind of execution engine that can work like a workflow. But it's a different workflow. It's agent, still agent workflow, but with a more rigid prompt, so that you can actually have to do this step and then do that step. It can follow you.
So again, Justin, on that, I'm just like assuming that it's something similar that can start competing with sort of N8N sort of workflow builders.
Yeah, it's much better than that, I hope.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's going to be game changer, right? Being ability to converse and also build and fine tune your own agentic flows, giving you more power basically to control what the agents are doing at each step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. More questions. We have a yes, please. Yeah.
Can you be louder? Like, can you?
I
Because
think
I couldn't really hear you.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, hi, I can hear you now.
you
So
can look there.
I just wanted to ask, like someone from like non-tech background, like for example, I've made workflows on N8N also, but you need some kind of programming understanding to make workflow on N8N. Like it's not that easy for a non-tech background user to make workflow on N8N.
Mhm.
But how, like, suppose if a non-IT person is using this and making custom AI agent, how easy, like, how easy will be it for him instead of using N8N, where you require like some kind of JavaScript knowledge and Python knowledge and all. So like, what's the difficulty level if someone from non-IT background wants to make a custom AI workflow? So that's
Yeah,
it.
I think that's a great question. I mean, I get the feeling, right? So you use all the like AI custom workflow. It feels like very tech savvy, right? So you have to understand something to make it work. We heard it, and we're still working on this product. It's not released yet. I'm not 100% sure if it can fulfill or it can satisfy your very high bar, right? So hopefully we can. That's why we try to make it intuitive, make it more like debuggable, right? So you create something that you want to give it a try. You don't want to send out 1,000 email to your customer like just by hit that button. But also you don't want to deal with all the scripts, all those very complicated thing. We understand, but it's a trade-off. And yeah, we're working on it. I'll basically give you this feedback to the team working on it. I see this is a real need from our customer. Yeah, balance the complexity and the accuracy, right? So the program is very accurate, but it's very complicated. If you make it very dumb, very simple, very like human like language, it could make mistake or surprise you. So you need to find the right balance with right approach.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Justin, being conscious of your time, right? How much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already running out of time, but if there's a question, I can take one more.
Right. Last question. Anyone? Okay, cool. Then we let Justin go. Right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Justin. Thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
chat. And
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for organizing this event. I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to having more of this session. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye, Justin. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. All right. So let's see if Breno is still there. Okay. I'm guessing Breno cannot join us, right? So let's open up for questions. Anything, right? Now that he's gone, any questions, any thoughts that you have, right? Yeah, cool. So we have F&B, right? High tea and all now ready, right? So whoever's feeling cold, I'm feeling cold. So we can start heading down and we can have more conversations here. Yeah. So thanks to the Amity Innovation Incubation, right, our team. It's been amazing collaborating with them, right? Everything that's been set up here, all of them, they made it possible. And then we have food and beverages now. We're still going to be here for a while, right? So please use now the next 1 hour to network with each other, connect with each other. If you're not, please try out GenSpark. Definitely do go ahead and create your profile on the Generative Beings website as well, right? Because this is just the starting point, right? The idea is that you are now being part of an AI ecosystem that's scaling really fast. You will be solving problems. You might already be building something on NA10, right? You might have certain challenges there. Someone else might have the solution ready, right? So everything that you're trying to do and trying to solve and asking for help, please go ahead and openly do that through the TGB platform and in the community channel or Telegram. That's how we're gonna, start building the community further. Thanks for coming in now. You're just in the right time for the networking. But anyways, we have the recording, right? So you can watch it later on YouTube. But thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming in today, right? It's a pleasure to see you all, and we'll try and do more of these on a monthly, regular basis. We'll move around the cities a bit, right? And but definitely anyone who's here who wants to build and learn using AI, please, let's have a chat, right? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everyone. We can head down. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah. So the swag, the GenSpark swag, that's yours, right? So please go ahead and take it with you. Thanks, everyone. We can close it.
स्टॉप करवा के रखूंगा